I'm Gareth Martin, delighted to be joined by Ireland Women's Under-16s head coach Tom Elmes. Tom, what a year for you.
Yeah, it's been really enjoyable. Obviously, starting with the 16s in June. Um, I was delighted to get that role. It was difficult to step away from the National League and from Wexford Youths, but at the same time, I did think it was a good step forward for me in where I want to go, and it's worked out to be really good from there. Going and working with James Scott with the women's on the 17s as well. The qualifiers over in Norway was a fantastic experience, and so we topped that group over there. So we're delighted with that. And obviously, then in the last couple of weeks, going in with the seniors has been another fantastic experience as well. So it's happened quite quickly, but I'm enjoying it all.
Yeah, as I say, to kind of recap, there's so many things that happened in the year. You started off the year high ambitions with Wexford Youths in the Women's National League. You come into the FEI, you get the Women's Under-16s head coach job. You work with James Scott with the 17s, and then finish the year working with Vera with the senior team. I suppose those are different challenges all the way through for you as a coach, are they?
Yeah, you have to keep kind of changing your coaching hat. Obviously, with the under 16s, it's a very different philosophy what we're trying to do with them. We're trying to educate them and prepare them to going into competitive football, get them to understand our principles of how we want to play, trying to help them to become better players, better people as well as much as we can, and those values that we try and instill with them at a younger age. So there's a lot of work that goes on there around those kind of key areas. 17s, then obviously we are in a competition format, but again, development is still a key integral part of what you do with them, as much as trying to introduce them to that competitive environment and how that might look and how it might feel. So that was definitely another step forward again. And when you go into the senior setup, it's probably the scale swing the other way, and it is much about that competitive environment and can we qualify and can we win games, and whatever we need to do to win that game is what we need to do. And but I suppose there still is an element of development about it, and I suppose that's enjoyable for me as well.
That must be really exciting for you as a coach to have the ability to switch between those. Obviously, they're in different windows at different times, but be able to test yourself as a coach in the development aspect and then in the competitive aspect as well, where these games matter and it's must-win games at times.
Yeah, I think just you always want, even with the younger age, you always want to win. You always have to try to develop a winning mentality, but it's not win at all costs. And I suppose that's where you kind of you do still kind of educate players around that. You do still set up to go and win, but you always evaluate everything you do. Um, you know, you don't evaluate necessarily always the score line, but you might evaluate the performance, and that's really important at that younger age. Whereas that's your focus. And I suppose with the seniors, you're evaluating the performance, but you're also evaluating the scoreline. Why did we lose that game, or why did we concede here? I suppose you look into that a little bit more. And yeah, it is. It's just about recognizing which environment I'm in, and what sort of information that player or that group will need from me, and how I need to change my approach and the way I communicate with the players. So it's just adapting to those different environments. But yeah, obviously the windows will be kept different now, kept separate. Obviously with me being involved, but up until now, recently there was a slight clash with calendars, and I found myself having to switch over quite quickly. But I think we were okay in the end.
And you haven't had too many games with the 16s, just the way the nature of things have worked out as well. Like obviously coming into time, but you started a couple of games in Waterford against England, and there was a trip to Wales in between, and a couple of kind of bounce games at home as well. How has that kind of gone overall, just the 16s itself?
Yeah, it's been difficult to get organised coming out of COVID. So obviously we were England obviously wanted to play us in June, and that was great. We were only delighted to accept that. So that was brilliant. But then we kept the ball rolling there, and we wanted to kick on from where we were at, and we found it quite difficult to get fixtures organised. But obviously, yeah, like you said, we managed a double header away over in Wales, which was really successful trip. And we've got a couple of home games, both north and south with the Northern Ireland, and they've been really good as well. It's great to have that opportunity to go and play with them. Our contact hours have gone up, so we're trying to bring the players in for day sessions and 2-3 day camps. We managed to get a couple of practice games against some National League sides, which has been really good as well. Helps us with that assessment process that we have to go through at the beginning of the year. But following, after Christmas, it's looking a lot better. It's we have a trip to Portugal at the end of January. Our UEFA development tournament is confirmed for April, literally the week before we go away for the international window, and we'll look to host someone then in around Paddy's weekend, and we'll look to try and get someone there. So contact hours have really improved, and I think we're seeing the benefit of it for the players. There's a number of under 16 players now going in with the under 17 squad, and that's great to have that communication between the international groups, that we're all aware of what's happening with the players, and the players are doing well and they get that opportunity to move up as well.
Tom, was a positive start to the job for you. Lots of hats, as you said, you're wearing. On best of luck for 2022.
Thanks very much, Gareth.